Right now, in high definition.
All residents within the boundary described below are ordered to evacuate immediately.
That was the call Great Falls residents received late this afternoon from the emergency notification system alerting of evacuations due to a fire.
Those voluntary evacuations for the north side of town have now been lifted. This comes after a fast-moving grass fire threatened much of the north side for much of this evening. The Great Falls Interagency Dispatch Center estimates the fire charred around 6,000 acres. The fire began before noon today, 10 miles north of Great Falls off Vinyard Road, and was reportedly started by farm equipment. Firefighters had the upper hand by the middle of the afternoon, but strong winds caused by a thunderstorm shortly after 5 o'clock forced the fire to grow rapidly, sending it towards the north side of the city. Evacuations were ordered shortly after 6 p.m. and remained in effect until around 8 p.m.
People and animals were seen leaving their homes for much of the evening. A shelter was set up at C.M. Russell High School, and about 24 evacuees were there for some of the evening. Multiple agencies, including a large air tanker, battled the blaze. There is no official word on whether any structures were lost, but at this point there is no information that any homes were burned. Now, fire crews remain on scene this evening, but Great Falls Fire Chief Steve Hester says a perimeter has been established, enabling that evacuation order, as we mentioned, to be lifted. He adds that fire crews will remain on scene overnight to make sure that that fire remains within the perimeter.
Now, our crews were out across the area gathering footage and talking with residents. MTN's Cody Proctor has a recap of today's Vineyard 2 fire.
The fire began before 11:30 Tuesday morning in a hayfield, but after about an hour, it was threatening homes. Several horses were evacuated as flames spread. Officials called it a very dangerous fire. The exact size of that fire has not yet been determined, but is believed to have been started by farming equipment. Firefighters thought they were done. That changed drastically late Tuesday afternoon when high winds from a thunderstorm began gusting more than 40 miles per hour a little bit after 5 p.m. The fire flared up and pushed the smoke south into the city. Around 6, Great Falls Fire Rescue urged people in areas on the north side of Great Falls to evacuate.
Well, it's all going that way. For a while we couldn't get out anyway, and I'm not going until they make me.
I grabbed the cats. I grabbed a few pictures, but I didn't have time to grab, the things that are really important, that mean a lot.
C.M. Russell High School opened its doors to about 20 evacuees to wait it out. By 8 p.m., firefighters set a secure perimeter with boundaries at 36th Avenue Northeast to the city limit and 6th Street Northwest to 9th Street Northeast. By 9 o'clock, the Great Falls Fire Chief lifted the evacuations, and residents could go home after spending a day on the edge of the flames. In Great Falls, Cody Proctor, MTN News.
The Red Cross and Salvation Army provided food to evacuees at CMR, and representatives from the city of Great Falls and Great Falls Public Schools also provided support. Meanwhile, Domino's and Papa John's donated pizza, and area residents stopped by to provide water, cookies, and dog treats.
Also today, under Fire Watch coverage, a lightning sparked yet another fire. This one, though, was in Teton County. We're told it sparked in a wheat field, and it's already been swathed. That was east of Dutton near 18th Road and 23rd Lane Northeast. That all started around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we're told it did burn quite a bit, but Dutton's fire chief says he doesn't know exactly how many acres were charred. At one point, a home in that area was threatened by the flames, but crews were able to protect it, and no structures were burnt. There's a lot of smoke from that fire that was seen here in Great Falls this evening, even on radar.
And Storm Tracker meteorologist Mike Rollins has been monitoring the weather aspect of today's fire activity. Mike, all of these fires are a direct result of Mother Nature.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought we had things under control earlier this afternoon, and then that thunderstorm blew up and it created a gust front. We can actually show you that here on radar. So we're going to go around with a couple of different views. This is a radar loop, and you can see the time there from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock at the bottom part of your screen. All right, there's the fire burning in northern parts of Cascade County, north of Great Falls. Let's go for a different angle because I want to show you this gust front that came blowing through here. See this line right here? This line is actually that line of strong winds that came blowing through Great Falls right at about 5 o'clock. In fact, it hit right at about 5:05 here at KRTV. When that happened, it really flared up the smoke. So here comes the gust front, and on radar, we were actually able to detect the smoke from not only this fire here on Vinyard Road, but also the fire up near Dutton. That fire producing a lot of smoke that fanned out across Great Falls, and a lot of the smoke that you saw earlier around 5 o'clock or 5:30, that was actually coming from that huge fire burning up just east of Dutton. In fact, that lightning-caused fire, we could actually pinpoint exactly where it was here, again, just north of 16th Road Northeast. See all the lightning in the area? This was right around 4 o'clock, and this right here is actually the smoke plume being detected on radar. There was so much smoke that we could actually see all of that on radar. Very strong winds helping to fan the flames here at KRTV, a gust of 44 miles per hour. In Riverview, we had a gust to 34 miles per hour. Much calmer at this hour. Our winds are right around 10 miles per hour out there. The humidity is recovering. That's good news as fire crews continue to keep an eye on things. In Helena, 67, pretty quiet evening across central Montana, but we have a line of very powerful thunderstorms, which is still working its way through our northern counties. In fact, check this out. We've had thousands of lightning strikes here, and Malta, this is headed right for you. It just went through Hayes. I've done a track on this, headed towards Sun Prairie at 10:25, Whitewater at 10:47, and Saco just before 11 o'clock. I'm going to do a full track on these thunderstorms, and we'll recap today's events coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. In other news, recovery crews